game, although it's kind of immobile. Alright, so Onyx go for the Invoker.
That's what I meant to say, totally. Okay. But they go Invoker themselves, yeah, banning out the Rubik right there. So they believe, you know, possibly could still need a support and going to be more of a core Weaver instead. But now the answer comes for Complexity. What is that Weaver going to be? What is this final pick even going to be here for them? So
yeah, so I guess they think it's probably carry Weaver, carry Venge, and mid Lone Druid or mid Weaver. You know, some conglomerate of those, thinking it's going to be a support for their last pick.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Maybe Cancel's been playing Lone Druid, and I just haven't seen it. We'll have to see. I like the Invoker pick. It's a mobile hero, the Tornado, quite good at some of these scrappier fights. As they do want to get aggressive early on with the Lifestealer Slaughter, like as soon as possible with the Clockwork. They have a lot of early fighting, a lot of vision in these fights. The Invoker adding some more control on top of that. So really wanting to get the jump and start off these fights on their terms is sort of Onyx's draft is based around so far.
All right, 15 seconds to decide. So Swinamel's got the whiteboard out. He's got the folder open and going through all these strategies and lineups here.
Okay.
Juggernaut.
Right.
Okay.
All right, I was right. Cancel hasn't been. Well, wait. So it's probably mid Jug then, right?
Mid Jug, Lone Druid short.
Most probably.
Weaver, Vengeful supports. Why Weaver support? What's this fascination with the idea of running Weaver support sometimes?
He's very, very strong in lane. Just does a lot of damage with not so many items. The Aghanims is really, really nice, and it's not necessarily an item you want to buy on a core Weaver. The Aghanims is very, very good versus a lot of burst heroes that want to jump in, start the fight. So good versus Onyx's draft, specifically the Aghanims this game. And then also, the Bug's very, very good for vision. He's a hero that's hard to take down for a support, so it's also something nice. Support's typically very, very easy to bring down, but Weaver's sort of the opposite of that, a very slippery hero. So forces you to buy detection and stuff while still just being a support. So overall, just sort of, only become popular recently, mostly popularized by Lil, but very, very good.
All right, here we go. Game number 1 of this 2-game series now. Got Complexity versus Team Onyx. You see right off the bat, Melon's going to port to the top lane. Meanwhile, you have Dubu porting to the bottom lane here on that Slaughter. Looking to get some early vision down. But as far as some lanes go, I mean, again, I guess it's still kind of... Oh, so who is playing what? Cancel is on the Lone Druid here, yeah. So he's actually going to be mid in the end.
Okay, so mid Lone Druid.
And then Moo's on the Juggernaut. He's their core now, of course. Their 1 position, I should say. No longer playing that 3. That would be Monkey's the one that does that. And he's on the Underlord. Okay.
Alrighty, so I guess he has been playing Lone Druid. I haven't seen him play it in pubs, but I'm sure he will do fine. It's super annoying to play versus in lane because the stupid bear, you get levels very, very quickly. Mid, obviously, as you're the only one there, so gonna get up to the level 10, 200 attack range very, very quickly. And Juggernaut, hero that... Okay, so looks like they're going to be going for an aggro try. Lone Druid, not a great aggro try hero. So he doesn't really contribute that much until he has a few more levels. Thrives at level 5. Before that, not super useful. But this Jug, Venge, Weaver tri-lane has a whole lot of damage. And Kato Slardar, not really the greatest of tri-lane supports. Kato can be very good with the Blast, but... all of their heroes are, the Cuddle very susceptible to getting killed by this tri-lane, so I think they're going to have to be pretty careful. Complexity's tri-lane has a lot of kill potential between the Weaver, the Venge, and the Jug. It's just so much damage.
Yeah. There was also a great start for Complexity there, too. They actually did control the top bounty rune up here, and so they get the 3-1 bounty rune control as a result. So well played, as Moo is the one to take on the top. He got Monkeys and Cancel, so all the cores managed to get some nice early start here from the bounty rune. So yeah, we'll be that try versus try lane, but as you're getting at, Complexity perhaps a little bit of the upper edge here as far as having the aggressive play for them. Dubu, meanwhile, is going to throw out the counter war, going to remove that sentry that was blocking the spawn of the camp over here. The pole camp, that is. So Lone Druid versus Invoker. This is kind of an newer matchup because, again, Lone Druid making appearances on the scene as of late. Do you have a favor for either side here?
I think the Invoker is going to have some pretty big issues early on in the matchup. Mineski did go for Exort level 1, so going to help him last hit some there. If he had gone for the immediate Quas Wax, may have had some issues. We're probably going to go into that after a little bit. So level 1, things are going to be reasonably even, but as this matchup gets further and further along, the Lone Druid's going to pull farther and farther ahead, I think. Once he gets to level 5, it's just so hard to stay in lane versus him. As you can see, Mineski already taking the brunt of these right clicks from the bear, and a little bit behind in CS already, so Cancel doing a really nice job in lane. And Lone Druid is just an extremely obnoxious hero to lane against. You can just always constantly be right-clicking him as the bear doesn't take aggro from creeps whenever attacking heroes.
Yeah, one of those nice nifty tools to be able to take advantage of, and especially in that mid matchup, you're mid player yourself. You know that's what really so much of that mid is, that creep control as far as the creeps go, pulling and whatnot. So top lane, we saw a lot of harassment on both Coddle as well as Sada. The Swarm came out and got both of them pretty damn low. Not enough for a kill, of course, but they are really keeping this pressure up. Moo is 6-3 right now. Lifestealer 4-1, very early on, but definitely advantage right now for Complexity, as we expected.
Yeah, with the lane getting pulled back now as well. Demon has been trying his best to spam with these blasts and harass it down, but no clarities on him currently, so that mana is going to be a little bit short. Does have the chakra for himself, but he does kind of want to use that on Dubu to get more crushes off. We'll have to see.
They're wrapping around. They want that Vengeful, but he's being a little too sneaky. Dubu's trying to hunt him down. But you see Melon's right here. He's got the flank positioning now as Zefree comes back in, and now they're going to go for Lifestealer, actually. The crush completely whiffs as a result, and now Mason's in trouble running away. He'll be fine. Moo running down now onto Dubu, but just simply harassment for Complexity, I guess. Looks like we might have had some kind of initiation right there, but oh yeah, Vengeful's not level 2 yet. That makes a little more sense. Doesn't have the magic missile. I was kind of wondering the lack of stun, but once again,
going for a lot of minus armor. Level 1 with the Venge going for Wave of Terror, the Weaver having the bugs. It's really hard for them to deal with it. You can see them now just continuing to get forced back by just all this threat of kill potential. The Venge does get in range for the stun, the Jug having boots, and get in range, spit on them, and they do have a lot of kill potential. Is like you said, the Jug pulling a little bit ahead in CS. Not really what you want to see for Onyx. The Slaughter doesn't have at least a reasonably good game. They aren't going to have the greatest initiation.
Oh man, middle lane, by the way. Flea's in trouble. He might go down right here for the first blood. One more auto attack. He gets it. First blood in favor of Cancel. Just dives him. That's that bear, though. The bear's like, yeah, you can't do anything about me. And gets the Entangle proc.
Yeah, just hitting level 5 must have gotten a pretty early root, as doesn't have much XP on the bar after getting that kill. So the Invoker going down, and now only level 4 in the Invoker, a full level advantage for the Lone Druid. It's gonna get really rough for now, as he has phase boots now as well, and the Lone Druid combined with the roots. This is not gonna be pretty, as Mineski doesn't even have boots yet, so this could get very grim very quickly, as he's going to have some serious trouble last hitting from now on.
Demon may fall right here, but at what cost for Zefree? He pops the Illuminate at the last second. The Sunstrike open and wins up, and down goes Weaver. So, did you make the kill happen before? Yeah, with all that minus armor you're talking about, but at least they get the turn kill on a Weaver. Got a little too ambitious there. I'm making a play. What is Slardar doing, by the way? He's been sitting here for a while. Okay, now he's just rotating through, I guess. Maybe waiting for a pickoff on the courier, but not going to happen.
Yeah. Just trying to make something happen. You can see Mineski being forced back to the jungle now. He just can't lane here anymore. Even has the wave on his kill for cancel, 25 CS, whereas Flea only at 15, so almost doubling him up already. And some of those are jungle creeps as well for the Invoker. So Bollinger having an extremely good start. This hero is just so hard to lane against.
Yeah. Monkeys, meanwhile, the Underlord, he's running away. There comes Dubu. Rotating in with that crush, only level 1. That's not the most damage, but here goes the Sunstrike on top of the cog block right here. And Monkeys is going to fall, actually. So that's a great synergy coming out, taking advantage of the clockwork in the Evoker. And, I mean, Underlord really couldn't have done much more, so very good collapse onto him. He's been winning that bottom lane, but that will slow it down a bit now.
Yeah, the Clockwork, almost level 6, so just a few more creeps will have that, and may look to set up a kill on the Lone Druid, but it's pretty difficult, as they do have the Sunstrike to throw on top, so it looks like Flea is actually going for the more of the traditional Invoker build, Quas Exort, going to the Midas, and maybe going to be farming it more as opposed to the typical Quas X, so going to be adding to their ganks from across the map. I'm going to add a little bit more kill potential onto this Lone Druid if he does get crushed up once the Slaughter gets a blink or a hook shot hits, so that may give them the potential to actually set up a kill on the Lone Druid. We'll have to see those.
There we go.
He does have the defensive capability in the board.
It's level 6, Cox come out, but Weaver happens to be nearby. Sunstrike again, no Monkeys, he's going to be dropping. He's trying to keep his distance, but the crush helps secure it, not even necessary. Battery Assault, more than enough damage right there, so not much Zefree can do by himself, and you know, Underlord's usually considered a pretty tanky hero, hard to kill, but apparently not so tanky in this Clockwork Invoker combination in terms of surviving. So that's now a couple of deaths, and again, he still has the creep scorer lead over the Clockwork, but at least they're keeping him in check here at the bottom lane.
Yep. Yeah, it's sort of the pace of this game is for Onyx is dependent on Bulba making good rotations right now. Bulba and Dubu looks like they're going to smoke up and try and set up a kill on this Lone Druid, so realizing that he's getting a little bit too out of control and want to set up a kill on him. They have the hook shot, and the Lifestealer just really not in fighting shape right now. Wants to farm up that armor before he really gets active in anything, so they're going to try and make moves, make space for the rest of their team, give the Invoker some time to catch up, let Coddle get some levels in mid while the Invoker jungles, but Cancel sniffing out and going to go to this top side, pick up the Bounty Rune, maybe jungle some camps here, so as I say that.
He's coming back now. He's going to right into Clockwork, actually. Pink's coming out. He knows he's in trouble now. There's the hook shot, man. It was initially such a great play on his part, and then only to just run right back into them. Obviously, it just happened to be the timing was perfect with the Bounty Rune. He goes down. Meanwhile, goes down at the top lane. Looks like maybe getting too aggressive would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't looking. I don't know what happened, but Weaver was up there as well, so it looked like he had just barely lived, and then infesting in and out, and maybe getting the kill and just living on a little bit of HP. So nice play for Mason, and the Jug going down in a 2v1 scenario. So very, very good for Onyx. Sort of after a really rough first couple of minutes, have turned around with a couple of nice cleanup kill, cancel going down as well, and Mineski having some time to catch up in the jungle. Still quite far behind and looking for a rotation down bottom, not finding anything, but.
Yeah. How about this build on Moo, by the way? You know, he might still eventually get it, but he's going the full Ring of a Kilo first, it looks like, and then he's going to be, you got the phase boots on top of that, but the Helm of the Dominator not being done just yet. Would you like to see that maybe sooner, or is it fine with this pace right here?
Yeah, I think you typically want to go the phase boots first in this kind of a lane where you're playing aggressive. It's an aggro triangle you're playing versus Lifestealers. He's going to go the phase boots first as well, so if you don't have those, then you'll have some serious issues last hitting versus him. Once you get on top of them with the spin a little bit easier, stay out of harm's way. If the Slaughter does come in for rotations, you can just phase boot away with the spin if anything goes super wrong. So we'll probably be going for the HOD after that, as Mubai is HOD on almost every hero.
Yeah. Lundred also a candidate for Helm of the Dominator, but obviously, you know, with you getting on Juggernaut, I kind of brought this up actually last series. I'm curious on your opinion. Is there ever a reason to get two Helm of the Dominators, to get two like aura creeps, or is that just not worth it?
I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world, as it is just kind of a good item stat-wise. The HP, the creeps aren't bad. It kind of depends. It is a little bit redundant, as sometimes you'll see like the Lone Druid go the HOD if you don't have any other HOD carriers on the team. AUI will go HOD on Lone Druid, because the creep gets the whatever the thing is, whatever the buff is whenever you go into the true form that gives both of your things more damage. It gives that to your creep as well, so you can take a catapult and you take down towers extremely quickly with the catapult having 140 damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think teams typically go for the double HODs. Like you said, the auras don't stack, so not the most efficient item choice.
We got a disconnect here. It looks like on Flea playing the Invoker, so hopefully quick fix and be good to go back into it. You recently joined back, I want to say, with FTL, am I correct? Because you used to be on them, right?
Yeah, it was on FTL, and then was kicked, and then now back on. Not super serious. Not playing super seriously right now. Okay. Haven't been scrimming or playing any matches, and we're not in a lot of qualifiers, so... Yeah, I don't expect us to be a contender for any LAN spots in the near future.
Gotcha. So it's more just having fun with it for now. Get some experience. Gotcha. All right, well. Yeah, I thought you might have been one of these qualifiers, but yeah, it looks like you're not, so. No, you're not. I didn't mean that negative. I realized that sounded so bad. I was just double-checking. Yeah, but you're not. Although I'm sure you guys are good enough. Just didn't work out right now. You know, a hero that you play often, too, watch your stream every now and then, and we talked about this before, I think even, Magnus is a hero that I feel is pretty strong, too, and with a talent tree, how you could build him as a right-click damage dealer even, it feels like. Would you like to see more Magnus, or is it understandable why maybe people don't play him as much?
Yeah, I think he can be very good. I think one of the reasons teams don't pick him up too often is it's a little bit redundant sometimes with how the meta is typically right now, where you almost always have some sort of an initiator, or at least a hero that likes to get fights started in the offlane. Underlord and Darkster sort of being the exceptions, and so Magnus fitting more with those heroes Because sometimes you'll have, just these multiple heroes that'll sort of like to do the same thing, and it makes it a little obvious on how you want to play the fights. Magnus also a slow hero tempo-wise, as he likes to sit in lane, farm treads, Echo Saber, and then the blink. So if you pick a very fast lineup versus him, can get punished and lose a lot of your towers and map control before you get online. Get to that really strong state, doing a ton of damage and buffing up your carry.
Yeah. All right, this game, guys, early on, I mean, a 5-2 Onyx lead. So as far as hero kills go, obviously looking pretty good. But Complexity definitely has their positive, mainly this Lone Druid. And how the start that Cancel has had so far. Looks like that Dragon Lance going to be next in line for him. What he's planning to work on, at least. Again, we just got finished watching the NP series versus, wow, who did they just play? They just played Dialcom, that's right. And using the Lone Druid over there. And if you haven't been watching the recent action in Dota, which I'm sure you have, but the Dota pit, of course, really just started to come online in that tournament and becoming very quickly a flavor hero that a lot of people are. Is there a way to stop is there like a hero or a strategy where it's like, oh, they picked Lone Druid, let's try to counter it? Or is that still being figured out, you think?
I think that's still being figured out. This hero is above 50% win rate. It's like 60 or something like that, and he's first 2 picked right now by most teams. So whenever a hero is first picked and is above 50%, the hero is like super broken. Because if you're picking a hero and they have the whole draft to try and counter or pick a playstyle that works well against it, and you still can't beat it,
yeah,
more than 50% of the time, then that hero is too strong. And I think that's the case with Lone Druid. There's just very few heroes that are actually good against this hero. He has an escape mechanism. He's extremely fast, and he has a sniper-esque range, and as well as does a ton of damage. Scales well late game. Has something up in the front to tank form. Has a root, which have been massively buffed. Just overall, he respawns in 20 seconds at level 20.
Yeah, well, that was the, I didn't even realize myself until really, especially the last game, really looking it over. Yeah, the 200 attack range alone at the bat is like, okay, well, that's nice. And then 65 damage is like, wow, that's like a sacred relic. And then, yeah, the minus 50-second respawn time. It's just like, wait, what? We were talking about that, how his numbers just seem so amped compared to other heroes and their talent trees. Like, I play a lot of support options, and I feel like the support, like, respawn time is minus 35 seconds, if that. So, the fact that he gets it up to minus 50. Granted, it's level 20, but still. Is he probably the most ridiculous talent tree, you think, and that's why he's being played, or is there another one that comes to mind?
Ember, probably another obscene talent tree with the cooldown reduction. The 15% magic amp at level 10 for whatever reason. Movement speed as well, very nice on that hero, as well as the stats. Stats never a bad choice in a talent tree. And then level 25, giving you the permanent chains with the Octarine core. So his talent tree exceedingly good as well.
Yeah.
The attack range being at level 10, like Silencer has plus 200 attack range, but it's level 25. And this Lone Druid here just has it at level 10. I don't know why.
Seems something's a little wrong there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because, when you implement a system like that into a game, you could argue that it's just going to mean more balance issues, right? You're just adding yet another tool that's going to customize, but it's going to be another level of things for all these heroes that you have to kind of worry about now, like as far as is it fair amongst all the other heroes. So I like the talent trees personally, and I'm having a lot of fun with them, both as a player and a spectator, but I can only see it being even that much more difficult to actually try to truly balance. And it's going to be fun to see when this first, big post-patch now happens with the changes that are inevitably going to be there. I mean, there's just several. You mentioned the Ember Spirit, the talented Lone Druid. Quap is another one maybe that people would bring up. So I'm sure they're going to be making some tweaks here and there. Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, I know. The minimap, man. I'm 12, lol.
By the way.
They're just...
Dubu.
Hey, Dubu. Yeah, Dubu, one of the several players that coming over from MVP Phoenix. Talk about that organization, man. They just got gutted. Got Dubu going.
Yeah, literally everybody left.
Pretty much other than Ryzen, I think it was, who was a sub, actually. So, yeah.
Is he playing on the what was MVP Phoenix? What are they called now? I think he's on that team. I'm not positive.
I didn't.
But yeah, Forev on Bears, Dubu on this team.
QO on Peter Pan Dam's team, Wanted.
Yeah, and then whatchamacallit on an NP on Secret.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I saw them.
He left a little bit earlier though.
Yeah, he was like the first one, I think, and then it kind of slowly trickled down from there. So
Yeah, him and Farev left, and then Farev coming back for the major, and then leaving again.
So much for Korean Dota, for now at least.
Yeah.
Hey, you hear the announcement earlier today, by the way? In case you guys didn't hear, we're going to pause here, so why not? The January 25th team, the European team there, they actually were just picked up by Ninjas in Pajamas, NIP, the organization, earlier today. So that's, of course, Era, Trixie, Hani, Cinderin, and who am I missing? Quickfa, of course.
Yeah, that's right.
Fun lineup there.
Yep.
Former Fnatic-esque lineup from the old days.
Yeah, Era was on the first NIP, I believe, for a little stint whenever it was a Dota team. So maybe having some connections there, able to get them sponsored again. It's good for them, losing their Escape sponsorship and not getting sponsored again. During the boys.
Yeah, NIP obviously a big one at that, especially in the region over there in Sweden and whatnot. So, all right, back to this game though. Looks like Invoker
Dire's top tower
good to go.
is under
Being
attack.
played by Flea once again. Back into the game at least. So, kind of recap here. Again, a 5-2 lead for Team Onyx. You look at the net worth though, it's actually pretty much even right now. It's dipped back down in favor of Onyx. What's been going on. But Z-Freak, he's poking around here at the top lane. He's trying to find somebody maybe hiding, but that's not going to necessarily be the case. Demon's a little too crafty.
Is under attack.
Make his way out, but it seems like they want to push this top tower.
Dubu scooting around behind the tower, pulling the wave around. So mid tower, Radiant mid tower, actually taking a decent beating from all these creep waves. Dubu just pulling it to the ancient camp, so the dire creeps don't get pulled off.
Radiant's middle tower
Mid tower
is
taking a
under
fair amount of
attack.
damage. Mason coming in to wail on it a little bit as well.
Is under
Cancel
attack.
just now coming in to take some damage off. So getting it about half health, trading a little bit. But like you said, top tower probably going to go down for dire. Just committing 4 heroes to take this down.
Classic avoid fighting strategy right now. Cancel charging in though. He gets the first hit right there. On to Mason, but quick pop of the rage and he'll just walk it off. So nothing really coming of it. Bottom lane, they all poured it in, but that was the Underlord Dark Rift. Unfortunately, unable to catch anyone, but they will protect the tower. So never mind. They denied. Was low enough for that. Middle tower does remain alive though, so it ends up being kind of a 1-for-1, but slight advantage for Complexity, of course, as they were able to deny it once again. Yeah, the Dark Rift has really proven to be a very interesting ability. A lot of the time you'd figure it's going to be used as this escape tool, but we've been seeing it more and more as people are getting more comfortable with the hero that use it aggressive, man. Push one lane, port to the next lane with the Dark Rift, and then push that lane right away, especially with the Shrine Reset ability. That's why, I think his biggest reason why he is so successful on the competitive.
Yeah, it also lets you save your TPs. So after you've all been rifted to a lane, you still have your TPs. So if they're pushing other lanes, you can go back and defend them. Gives you a lot of choices around the map. Lets you push, lanes you wouldn't normally be able to push and then still defend your towers. Gives you a significant just map movement advantage. Like you said, one of the biggest reasons why he is so popular right now.
Yeah. Well, what's going on over here? That would be the Spirit Bear scouting out Flea, picking up that double damage rune. He's gonna take the bounty rune though. That's a powerful tool, man.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just get the bounty
Cancel
rune and run
getting
away.
cheeky.
I'll take that as tribute.
So well played at least there, and steals that in front of Invoker. Top lane. Z-Freak's fine. Just gets that corrosive haze applied to him. So you mentioned, the support Weaver playing this 4 position. What kind of build do we expect on him, Dang? Does he even build into a Desolator, become almost like the semi-carry for the team, or is he more supportish utility?
He may sort of based on how the game goes on. He is going for the Aqua, looks like now, so it's going to give him some mana regen, some nice armor. Veil, pretty good this game. I mean, not Veil, Medallion.
Okay.
So you see that on support Weavers sometimes. It's sort of an intermediary item before you get to the Aghanims. He's most probably going to go for the Ags at least some point this game, but I think may go for the Medallion. Probably not going to go for something like the Deso or the Lincolns, at least not right away, maybe later in the game if he gets more farms. It's just kind of a lot of gold, and you're not very useful until you get to that point. You'd rather have something like an Ags if you are going to go for a big item to help out your team, as you are just a support Weaver.
Bottom lane looks like they want to rotate over, but ports are coming into the Shrine. The Cogs catch Melons right here. There's no way he's getting out of this. Oh, maybe he is. He swaps out, actually. And now he's going to play the I'm going to run game. Nope, ain't going to happen. Hookshot connects. And down goes Swinemelon. So that was a hell of an attempt, at least. It's buying some time for Lone Tree to push the middle tower and being a bit of a distraction, I guess. Not nearly enough, though, and now cancel the Spirit Bear. He's dealing with Mesa just fine, apparently. But he will start to get back in. Run back into the lane. So Juggernaut, meanwhile, top lane. The Helm of the Dominator just about finished for him. And then maybe that's going to be the kind of the key item to perhaps start grouping up and pushing more towers. They only have the one tower kill so far, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I think they were looking to maybe take this bottom tower, pull some people in with the Underlord. Underlord actually having an HOD, so they do have 2.
Oh.
So not going for that quick mech, a little bit surprising.
Huh. That is
Not
curious.
something you typically see on Underlord. People sort of toyed around with it, going for that, going for the HOD on a lot of these offlaners, but have sort of drawn away from that and gone back to building the mech, because you know a lot of the carries do like to build a HOD, so it becomes a little bit redundant. But they do go for 2 HODs. Looks like he's going to be going for the mech afterwards, so a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here we go. The hook shot in. He does have life stealer inside. Jumps out of the cancel on the swap out from Melons. Playing the sacrificial lamb, but cancel will stay alive as a result. That's why they picked up the hero, of course. Dubu, meanwhile, Stomp catches the bear, and that's one dead Spirit Bear. So no spawn for Lone Druid either. That's a 50-second cooldown, actually. That's pretty crucial for cancel. He's going to be missing out some time here. Not having that Spirit Bear.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, I really like how they're playing this Invoker, sort of like how Miracle did the other day. Going for more of this typical build, going for the Midas and just farming a lot. Focusing more on Wex and Exort. Going for that because you don't get the 2 Forward Spirits at level 8, so just leaving 1 point in Quasta, you can just skill the Forward Spirit. And split pushing a lot and contributing these ganks to the Sunstrike, because they do just need a little bit extra boost of damage to finish off some of these tanky heroes or hard to get a hold of heroes. And Sunstrike doing quite a bit of work, giving them a lot of pickoffs. Looks like Swindle may go down again here.
Yeah, not only that, he put a ward right next to a Sentry Ward, unfortunately. So he's just trying to dodge, and he attempted a hook shot. And love yourself, aka Bulba, just kind of walks him down. Battery Assault gets the catch, and there's that Sunstrike as just mentioned, coming out from Flea. So Melon said, and that's adding insult to injury, like I said. The war going to be countered immediately. So 14 minutes in. And Invoker, he should be fine, just Underlord down here. So Invoker real quickly. So Invoker kind of, I think a lot of people would agree, is almost like its own game in a lot of ways. There's so much to learn about the hero. So you're kind of going at this Wex Exort ability build here. Does this allow him to just overall deal more damage, and even on a right-click sense, or what's the true advantage of doing this over, say, the Quas Exort?
I mean, the Quas Exort is sort of eliminated by the last patch, since the 404 doesn't give you Forward Spirits anymore. Just getting the 1 point so you can summon the Forward Spirit, Exort giving you the damage, Quas giving you HP on the Forward Spirits.
Okay.
So leveling up the Quas anymore, not the biggest deal, is just using Forward Spirit for damage on the black.
Wow.
Going down.
Yeah, he melted. The Corrosive Haze was applied, and he just didn't stand a chance right there. So great roam coming out from Team Onyx, and obviously that's a high priority target, especially at this point in the game. The Blink Dagger on Slardar, that's going to help with it. Big pickup to be had.
Yeah, but going for this build in the Invoker this game as opposed to a Quas Wex, a nice adjustment, as they do have so many heroes that like to make moves. They like to start off these fights, sort of like Quas Wex Invoker does. They have the Clockwork, the Slardar, so not being too redundant, going for this more damage-oriented split-pushing Invoker is also a Complexity with really no heroes with good catch, so Mineski getting a lot of damage to this bottom tower non-stop, constantly pushing in. You can see Complexity having a really hard time dealing with it. They want to group up, they want to take team fights, but Onyx is not letting them do that, moving around the map, kiting them.
Yeah.
And just looking for pickoffs, taking fights on their terms.
Well, I feel like this really is just so odd, because from the draft of the lineup, it really does feel like Complexity is the one that should be doing what Team Onyx is doing in terms of pushing these towers in now. A big fight brewing right here. You see Mood charging in. Doesn't have any kind of catch necessarily. They're going to catch Demon, though. And he's just going to go immediately try for the TP. Ain't going to happen, but everyone else should be fine. Pending Melon's able to chase them down. Wave of Terror. We'll see Lifestealer, but cannot get close enough for any kind of swap play, and they will all escape. So yeah, losing a Coddle, not a big deal there. The 5 heroes coming down. And now Complexity could have transitioned instead to a bottom tower push. So again, going back to the point though, Complexity, they wanted to probably be pushing towers by now. Haven't necessarily been doing that much just yet. But they'll finally be able to take out this tier 1 tower at the bottom lane at least.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They're
attack.
leading the way.
Onyx drawing some lines, so they're willing to give up that tower and gonna try and smoke and make a play behind this top tier 1. for Radiant as
Dire's bottom
Lee pushes it in,
tower
so
is under attack.
trying to anticipate
Dire's
Complexity's
bottom
movements. It looks like they're
tower
having none of that, and now they're able to group up by a tower, not getting split pushed super hard.
Radiant's
We're going to go
middle
over this tier
tower
2.
has
This
fallen.
Demon trying to slow it down a little bit. This top
Dire's
tower
bottom
may
tower
still
is
fall
under
as
attack.
they aren't super in position right now to take this fight.
Yeah, that thing just dropped really quickly. So we do see again the Bear Demolish and everyone else just, they can drop these towers when they finally get about to doing it. And that's going to be more than enough. That with the healing ward thrown down. So
Radiant's
have a lot of
middle
team
tower
fight
is
presence.
under
And
attack.
as you pointed out, Onyx not really comfortable in this spot to be
Oh.
defending top lane.
Radiant's
Not going to be
top
enough on a
tower
move
is
right
under
there.
attack.
Sorry, the crush. He spun right before the crush, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was nice reaction time. They weren't smoked, so we did have a little bit of time to react, but just barely got the spin off, and the spin off, not the spun off, and they did get the kill. So a little bit of wasted time. Mason having to TP back to base after using his rage, so now gonna run back and try and continue to get these lanes out with Fleet going right back down to bottom. So we're gonna continue the split push, continuing to try and split them across the map and look for pickoffs, but Complexity all starting to migrate back up to top lane, looks like. So gonna try and start working on these tier 2s again.
Yeah, the double help of the Dominator. They got the mech now, and Underlords talked about. So it feels like the Complexity. And again, Melon's knowing him, he's really keen on objective-based games. So grouping up, pushing this tower even further. They're kind of split up somewhat right now. You see Weaver killing off the Ancients, meanwhile. It does have 1,300 gold saved up. So clearly Z-Freak trying to finish whatever set item's going to be. Talked about the possible medallion, perhaps, or something else. But going to use this Ice Ogre. Ogre Frostmage, excuse me, to apply some armor to some people. Also help with the Ancient. So it's just an Underlord Vengeful push up here instead. And you got to be a little careful about that. I mean, Vengeful not really
Dire's
the
top tower
best.
is under
Only
attack.
just has brown boots currently.
Radiant's bottom tower
They get
is
caught out,
under
could be in a
attack.
lot of trouble. So they're not going to fully group up. They are just going to kind of split push a little bit and just continue to farm elsewhere. So I don't know if there's just a specific item that they're waiting for before really pushing more towers, but gonna hold off for the time being.
Yeah, I don't know if there's so much waiting for specific items. They're just getting drawn all over the map by Onyx, waiting till they can find a pickoff or some sort of kills. They may get one on Demon up top.
Yeah, that was
Makes
well
off
played
back in.
actually. Oh, Dark Rift activated as get out till this is gonna work out perfectly. Yep, because they were definitely dead if it wasn't for that Dark Rift even a second later. So good timing there by Monkeys. Managed to
Yeah, but they're
escape.
just sort of getting drawn over the map, getting all their lanes pushed in and having to deal with them. So not able to group up like they want to with the healing or with the Underlord, who does have the mech now as well as the HOD, so very farmed on this Underlord. They want to just kind of run down lanes, but they are getting split up. But after getting the pick off on the Coddle, don't really have any deep push heroes besides him. Onyx maybe setting up the fight around mid. But looks like Complexity are going to smoke up, look for something, maybe go down to this go to this mid lane or up to top and defend this tower. As they, you draw the line, so they want to defend this top tower. You catch the lifestealer up here.
Yeah, that would be the ideal. The Echo Saber, the Armlet as mentioned, the Death Slayer in the works for Lifestealer, so slowing that down would be big. They can manage to catch Doobie nearby, though, as that Infest target. So here we go. Melon's leading the way. They got a Purge Creep, the Satyr in the front lines. Oh, that's an awkward pause.
Oh, wow, you can see Bulba drawing that line, so just slightly misguessing where they think they are, but
He sees
looks
the
like
Satyr,
the Satyr
though.
creep. Yeah, he sees the Satyr. So that's some unfortunate timing. Swindle seems
And
to
then-
be a little triggered.
Melon's kind of giving it away, too. I mean, but if anything, yeah, seeing the Satyr, I mean, I can understand the frustration, to be fair.
Admin laying down the law. Chill out.
I'm super chill, brah. Yeah. Knowing Melon, he threw his hands up in the air and said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah. But it's like I said, it wasn't done on purpose by any means. He's lagging. It just happened to be the perfect timing. So Onyx, you'd figure, should be able to get out of this. Seeing that Satyr there, they probably figure something's up.
Yeah, Mason can rage TP. People can just blink away and sprint on off. As, like we talked about before, Complexity quite low on catch heroes. Gonna have a hard time looking to get this kill. Only 5 minutes left for Maneski to come back. So hopefully this lag is resolved.
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah, Invoker especially. I could only imagine playing Invoker. In general, he's just so difficult. Again, kind of his own game, but then you got lag on top of that you're having to deal with. Not too friendly. You know, there's been the hot topic discussion lately going on. We'll hold it off for another pause.
So much for the hot topic.
Have to keep you guessing on what it was. Okay, so Yeah, the immediate reaction, the godlike reactions from Dubu. Oh, but they might catch Lifestealer, actually.
Swap.
Yeah, he swaps him out, and that should be a kill on the Lifestealer. So, well, they get something out of it at least. So there's positive for Complexity. Got to be fairly happy with that kill. They'd rather have that than the Slaughter, that's for sure.
Yeah, so they do get the nice kill on the Lifestealer. And with that kill, should be able to walk down and push out this top lane as looks like Demon is pushing in mid, some of the waves getting in, but Boo not up at top, so they may look to fight, but okay, no, just running away. Demon gonna come up here, slow down this lane as much as possible. They continue to just push up the lane, try and still push and find whatever they can.
Yeah, that Illuminate spam, or I sometimes say the Illuminati spam, a little too much right there to push very effectively. What just happened? Bottom lane.
Boo was down bottom trying to set up a kill on Mineski. Maybe looking for an Omni Slash on him solo as he walked away from a wave, but Dubu came over, crushed him, amped him up. The Sunstrike dropped down, and Moo went into the trees, was going to TP. I was probably going to live, but Dubu, on the first hit with a 10% bash chance, bashed him up and he went down.
Got the lucky bash, and now there's a catch on the melons over here. He swaps out the Spirit Bear, though, and he actually is going to keep the distance. They thought they had the kill. He's going to run into a Sunstrike, though. Oh, he thought he made the great escape successful. Unfortunately, not to be, however. So, unfortunately, missing that bottom juke attempt on Juggernaut. But yeah, he does die, and so does the Vengeful, and they go right into the Roshan pit now. Clockwork to help them out. That battery assault, of course. The Corrosive Haze put up. And this is going to be a very quick Roshan kill. So that Aegis in the hands of Lifestealer, I'm sure. Want to pick it up.
They're going to run the Satyr in there, but just a little bit too late. It's arguing about 10% HP, going to be going down just despite Lifestealer crushing it up to make sure he doesn't steal it by some obscene chance of luck or denying the Aegis. So you get the free Roshan for Onyx after a nice kill on Mood on bottom with a super lucky bash.
Underlord pushing out the bottom lane meanwhile, but of course, yeah, gonna have to deal with it Aegis now. Like I said, the Desolator just about finished on Lifestealer as well, so gonna be dealing plenty of damage. As Invoker keeps pushing out the top lane, the Axe is just about finished on him, it looks like. A little bit more gold for that Blade of Alacrity, and then that means the Axe gonna be ready to be purchased as there we go. So, yep, he has his Axe now finished. As bottom lane, they're going to have a collapse. They collapse on a Demon, but there's several other heroes nearby. They are not aware of, including the Slaughter jumps in, including the Infest coming out from last year out of Clockwork. And the Cogs are up. Demon in the background, still alive with the Spirit Bear. He's going to remain alive for the time being. How's somebody dead just yet? That's unbelievable, honestly. Cancel trying to keep running throughout here, but it ain't going to be enough. He will eventually go down as now Vengeful. He's just going to kind of wait it out, the inevitable death, and just make them take as long as possible. As they do. But the 2-for-0 is successful for Team Onyx. And now they're going to push out this bottom lane, it looks like.
Yeah, Z-Freak buying some time. Going to try and push this mid lane, maybe force somebody back. It's like Demon may head over, but Weaver going to head back after killing a couple of creeps. As Mineski running in to push this lane. As bottom lane, tower is very low as well, so it's probably going to go down.
Yeah, they're grouping up down here. They do not have Invoker as mentioned, but, you know, he can join them if need be. Has those spots ready to go. And Lifestealer will just head right towards the tower and easily drop it. And that money for the Desolator, at least, is ready to be finished. So, going to be getting that to come out here in the near future. Top lane, you have Moo just farming what he can. Blink Dagger is going to be his next choice. So, he had the Mantis South finished. Wants the idea of the gap closer ability. Does that make sense to you, getting the Blink Dagger next on Juggernaut?
Yeah, I think he wants to get on top of this Coddle. Maybe find a pick off on him while he's pushing out these lanes. Otherwise, the Coddle will just be able to run away. He's a pretty fast hero. Gonna have the Ags pretty soon, so we'll be able to spot him as he's running up. So let's him get some kills on these on the Coddle as he's split pushing. And the Coddle just defending lanes. Let's him split push a little bit better. Trying to be a little bit more safe and avoid some of these Slaughter Lifestealer bombs, but they are pretty scared right now. As you can see, most of their heroes in the base playing very defensive, and Dubu just walking around bottom. Onyx doing sort of whatever they want on the map as the Underlord. Past the point that you typically want to hit with this hero, where you're just sort of walking down these towers, being super tanky, forcing them to take team fights, but not quite able to do that as their lanes are just always in by this Invoker constantly split pushing.
Yeah, got Melons pushing out right there a little bit, but that's why they're playing it so safe, and wasn't expecting him to be out there in the first place, but just trying to get some kind of vision out for his team, of course. They do have a fairly defensive ward at their bottom shrine area, but that really is it. You mentioned Juggernaut at the top lane, but the middle tower will fall right here in favor of Team Onyx. And now the top lane, Moo, he's going to spin. He is going to TP, and he will be good. So makes his escape at least, where they can collapse on him. But now it's time for the top lane for Team Onyx. Yeah, this first tower even still up, actually. A little surprised at that. But they're going to make quick work of it. And is that an axe now finished on Coddle? It sure is. And that's where the game even gets that much tougher. It's just not stopping. It's happening so quick. I'm really trying to catch these kills, but just jumping with the Infest Bomb. And these supports are getting picked off left and right. Bottom lane, okay, they're kind of here, but no, the Pit of Malice is going to miss, actually. Poker will be fine.
Going for the Force Staff next on Flea as well. So continuing to play around that style that they wanted to go for from the draft. That was just kite complexity around the map. Don't give in to their just running down lanes and 5-manning. Get pickoffs around the map. Have really good vision. The Force Staff gonna help them fight in that style even better. Let them kite around. Get on top of this Lone Druid. Stay away from the Weaver, from the Juggernaut. Just play these long drawn-out fights, getting multiple crushes off the lifesteal, or getting multiple rages. Plucker having Ags now already, so the 12-second hook, they can just constantly go in and out, whereas Complexity you sort of have to run at you with, like we said before, not really any catch heroes in their draft.
That Juggernaut can continue the split push, trying to make something happen here for Complexity, but rest of the team going to sit at the base, of course, and protect any attempt at a siege. To swap it on Invoker. This could be a big kill as they catch Flea initially. The Swarm is put out, the Ghost walk away, and the Force Staff of support is a little bit too strong. The lockdown just not the strongest. There's some lockdown, the hook shot. Oh, the Cog's just out of range of trapping him in, though. And Monkeys will fall back. The Aegis, meanwhile, it is reclaimed, as we heard right there. And that'll be the end of that exchange. No deaths actually happening.
Z-Freak actually going for a little bit of an atypical build, going for the Force Staff and the Weaver, so can force his Underlord out of the Cogs, can force his Lone Druid out, who did go for the Hurricane Pike, second item, after getting the Maelstrom and the Dragon Lance. So finishing that up against the Clockwork, but pretty low on damage because he did have to finish that up. Typically you want to go for more damage-oriented items, or as well as going down a couple of times. This Lone Druid not really at the place you want him to be, especially after the start he had. 5k below the Invoker he was so far ahead of earlier in the game. Flea catching up extremely well, just split pushing these lanes and not going down at all since that first Blood Death. So working out since that Octarine about halfway there already.
Oh, swap back in onto Lifesteal. Actually, the Armlet Toggle, though, he is healing up just fine. Pit of Malice moving in place, and it will be enough for the kill. He does have a 5x like on EMP going off from Invoker. The Illuminate coming through as well, but now it's Complexity's turn to push back Team Onyx, actually. See Demon off to the side, trying to survive. He's on the uphill now, throws out another Illuminate. Swinamel trying to get close enough for that magic missile, but nice job with the blinding light to push him right back. And Coddle going to keep on running. He is damn fast at 430 move speed right here. And Demon actually heading towards the bottom lane even. Throwing down a sentry, so he will end up living in the long run. Meanwhile, the top lane, Invoker is split pushing it. And going to start pressuring the tower now at the base. Well, not for long, though. He immediately has to fall back from there.
Bottom lane, he's getting recalled.
Is he? Okay, that would be, yep, there we go. Underlord's dead. He was going to recall it to the bottom. He's staying alive quite a while, but he will die shortly after.
Yep, taking all 4 heroes. They do eventually bring him down. Was recalled, so didn't have to use his bot, so can immediately TP back to bin, which he does. Going to push this lane out as well. So Onyx continuing to keep these lanes out. You can see Complexity desperately trying to get top in as fast as possible. Maybe try and look for some tower, try and get this mid tower, but Onyx having none of that. And just, like I said, continuing to pull them around the map. Very, very nice play from Onyx, playing perfectly into their draft, and Complexity just being sort of stifled at every move. They are still very, very strong at team fighting, and Onyx trying to avoid these brute force 5v5 team fights, always going for the initiation. Very finesse-based team fights, in and out, the Slaughter with the Clockwork, Lifestealer bombing heroes, and trying to get run at. Complexity storming at them mid.
Slaughter with that gem also counter-wording along the way as they're going to kill the shrine now, and that will be the last outer building destroyed. You see the top shrine already taken out from earlier. So now the map control well in favor of Team Onyx with the vision as well as the shrines being killed. There's still a secondary tower here for Team Onyx that is up. That Complexity will have to make a point to destroy. I mean, I guess you kind of get the general concept, but Roshan is up in a minute and a half, which could be a big deal, but Complexity, yeah, it's like, what can they do? You mentioned the late game is still pretty strong presence and everything, but this idea of maybe pushing towers and team fighting, is it just Team Onyx is playing it just too well right now to be able to look good if you're Complexity?
Yeah, they're playing very crisp. Their draft also works very well against the style of Complexity wants to play this game while drawing a lot of lines. My goodness.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's just sort of how the drafts work out. And Complexity, like you said, they still do have a very strong late game and can definitely take these late game can definitely take these team fights as long as they don't get jumped on. So looking to probably fight at nighttime as the Coddle, his effectiveness going to be considerably lowered. So maybe trying to get these lines out, maybe look for some sort of a smoke play in the near future, as it's only 1 minute till daytime, and then Onyx can be very strong for another 4 minutes. So if they don't look for that play soon enough, then going to be back to continuing to just push out these lanes desperately, trying to work up some net worth and get to the point where they have enough items to, getting the Blink Dagger, getting an Abyssal Blade in the far future on the Juggernaut, so maybe they can have some pick-off potential. But until then, just going to be forced to group up as a team so they don't get picked off and push out these lanes as much as they can.
And this smoke was completely 100% spotted right here by Team Onyx. They were pinging it as they were smoking. Team Onyx is smoked themselves, meanwhile, and now they're trying to figure out where they want to go with this. They're going to see the Spirit Bear, but obviously not know where everyone else is just yet. They're going to be patient, though. So you figure, though, this is going to be the advantage to Team Onyx. Again, they're the ones that knows the Complexity smoked, where Complexity probably figures by now that that's probably going on. But instead, Moo's just going to open it. He's tired of running around doing nothing. Going to beat down some creeps, meanwhile. It does have that Maelstrom, of course, so amping up his damage a bit. Looking once again towards the Roshan pit. Roshan is up, so here we go, action. Flea, ooh, he pours out right as they're going into the Roshan pit. Or near the area, at least. And now they're actually going to the secondary tower, so a little bit of change of heart there.
Yeah, it's a very nice play from Flea. Going to put a lot of damage on this tier 3 tower, and it's going to force Complexity to respond. They're going to have to TP back, and whenever they do, Onyx is going to get that mid lane out and probably go for Roshan. Rax is taking a heavy beating right now. Someone needs to go back.
Yeah.
They're trying to cancel TPs on Onyx.
And they're trying to stop this. Oh, Dubu, he got force-stepped onto the cliff, actually. He just throws that stop. Lifestealer's up here with him, actually. So down goes Dubu. And now Monkeys, he doesn't have a Dark Griffin necessarily. The Omni/Terror through Lifestealer. He's going to die as well. And that works out pretty well. You see Juggernaut, excuse me. There's a gem up here, but he's stuck. But as you mentioned, the top lane, look at Flea. He pushes in the Rax and gets the Rax killed, despite losing 2 of his teammates right there. So overall, definitely advantage for Team Onyx, and they both have buybacks. There we go with the Slaughter buyback. Invoker jumps in, the EMP Tornado combo. Gonna land pretty well right there. Off to the side, Z-Freak has his time lapse, gonna be pushed out by the Cocktail. They want to kill this towers. Nice 3-man stun there with the crush of Slaughter. Buyback on a Lifestealer. Invoker's caught, though, and Invoker's gonna fall right here. He has a buyback. He's not going to use it just yet, however. Dark Rift is activated. Can he catch everyone in it? Yeah, oh, we got pushed out somewhat. That was close. Oh, that was really close, but he actually gets everyone back.
Yeah, at the very least, Invoker not having a buyback, but Lifestealer did as well as Dubu, so this Lifestealer is not going to be where he wants to be. His net worth, as far as net worth goes, both of Complexity's cores above him. Flea still on top, so even if they do lose a Rax, I don't think Complexity is most sad with that. Roshan's still up, and with Flea still dead, they may try and move over to this area after getting top lane out. They have the Aghanims on Weaver now as well, so for the longest time, Onyx has been able to get the jump and burst heroes down, and Complexity not really having a response. They die too fast to get swapped out or mech'd up. It's too much damage, and now with the Aghanims and the massive range of that time lapse, they may have some issues bringing heroes down now for Onyx. Complexity may swing back up into a position of just being really, really strong on the map with the Mjolnir now on Moo as well. Very, very strong up to level 20, so getting the +8 stats as well. Bolstering his strength quite a bit.
Yeah, you see Underlord with that Atrophy Aura hitting pretty damn hard himself, as well as negating theirs. As talking about, man, this is a quick Roshan kill. Wow. That was like 6 seconds or something like that. But Aegis picked up by Moo. And all of a sudden, yeah, Complexity maybe not feeling too shabby. But again, granted, the top lane of Rax was destroyed. But ultimately, I don't know if it was a great call. But, I mean, I guess, again, there are advantages for both sides. There was a buyback, as you're talking about. Lifestealer going to be down on a buyback now for a good 5 minutes. And Complexity very aware of that with the Aegis. Now, this is going to be their window to definitely make a play. They kill the top shrine, the bottom shrine going to have to leave for the time being, as it's a little bit too far away. Flea did pick up the Octarine core, by the way, well before that fight.
Yeah. Mason is sort of in a worrisome position right now, though. You can tell in the last couple of fights, he's gotten kited and just sort of locked down very, very easily. Been jumping out, was on the cliff that time. The time before was swapped back in and died up in the top lane whenever the pause happened. So hasn't had the largest impacts recently. And you really want your lifesteal to continue to be getting kills, snowballing his net worth as Underlord, almost the same net worth as the lifestealer right now. And not a hero that can do very well late game versus Juggernaut, as well as this Weaver Aghanims and a Lone Druid Bear constantly sniping him far away, rooting him down. If he's not ahead, if he's not being the aggressor, getting the jump. And so I think Complexity are fine with the position they're in right now. Is they definitely have the power to take these team fights, and a lot of it doesn't just come down to execution.
Flea really is doing a great job, though, of the split push. He is definitely accomplishing his job here for Team Onyx. And obviously, you already got the top racks taken out but with these bots and the short cooldown that they have, only basically 33 seconds at this point. So he's going from bottom to top, just keeping the lanes pushed in, keeping Complexity very unsure of what they really want to be doing here. Monkey's top lane, just going to push it out with a Firestorm before falling back, as had a couple coming over, so you need to be careful. Medallion of Courage was eventually picked up by Vengeful Spirit, actually, and Weaver does have the Axe now. So can cast the time lapse on an ally. We'll keep an eye on that throughout these fights right here. He looks to use it on, or when he does more so. Lifestealer AC has been finished. That's a nice damage amp tool for the team. Coddle, it's nighttime currently. He's pushing out the bottom lane. It's going to be the last shrine, though.
Yeah, I kind of worry for this Invoker. While he is very, very farmed and has had a large impact on the game so far. Going for the Ocarina, now going for the Lincoln. So 2 items that make him tankier in the Ocarina. Very good for long fights. Long fights not really what Onyx want to take anymore. They want to get these jumps off. They want to blow up a hero, and they want to just sort of take the fight from there, chasing them down. They don't really want to go in and out too much anymore. It's very hard for them to blow up heroes with the Weaver having the Aghanims. So it's having a lot of tankiness. The Octarine good for these long fights and hard to bring down himself, but doesn't have that much damage and isn't super useful in these team fights versus the Healing Ward, the spin on the Juggernaut, and a whole lot of Force Staffs. And like we continue to say, the Aghanims on the Weaver, the Guardian Greaves, the Pipe as well, and Monkeys. So have to be very careful. And he's trying to split push. Force Complexity back. But
yeah, trying to cut it off. That was Underlord right there, porting in with his team. That Dark Rift, and here we go. The range racks actually being the ones that fall first as Move prioritizing that. Hook shot in the background, though. Catches one, and the cogs are up, and here we go. Firestorm put down. The Sunstrike on top. Nobody died just yet. The Force Staffs are a little bit too strong and saving one another despite getting trapped in the cogs initially. So down go the melee racks, throw in the air. Meteor going to be placed. Move going to take some good damage from that, but will spin away. He still has an Aegis. There's another hook shot. The Axe reducing the cooldown quite a bit, but cancel. 4 Staffs away. Now Underlord caught by the Crush, but not the easiest targets to kill. The bit of Malice going to catch Slaughter in the background, trying to delay hit. But a 2 fight with only the 3 kills in total happening. And I think that's going to be the end of it. The Spear Bear also getting caught. But
yep, they did exactly what they needed to do, just jumping onto one hero, blowing them up. They did get time-lapsed a couple of times, but Onyx able to force them out of the base, chase them down as they do lose their racks, but get a couple of kills.
Man, that
Spineski still pushing bottom.
Yeah, you got Lifestealer inside, by the way, so the Infest ready to go. But Weaver's going in, but ooh, with a quick Ghost Walk, and he will be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of that was the EMP, though. Like I said, Moo, he probably wanted the Omni Slash a couple times during that fight, but he just didn't have any mana at all. So that's something that's annoying to deal with, I'm sure. Throw out these here.
Yeah, you definitely have some mana issues in this hero as the game goes later on, but Complexity had to be very careful. As you saw, whenever the Underlord got amped up and the Lifesteal was locked onto him with the AC and the Deso, he just melted in just a few hits. So they do still have to be very, very careful. And as you can see, all grouped up in the base, playing very much as a team, not willing to give up any pickoffs. Hurricane Pike now on Z-Freak as well, so going to be transitioning into a more of a right-clicker as the game goes on up to 11k net worth, so not too shabby for a support, about on par with the Kato as the 4-staff axe, as well as the gem. So giving out some nice vision, as well as some more mobility. This game is all about mobility and how these team fights go. Who get the better jumps, who can find the opportunities, items, and just the drafts in general showing how they want to play this game.
Yeah, is there, I mean, when it comes to like really late game, we're talking really, really late game, which is still a ways off, but there's an argument to be made, I feel like, with a hero like Lone Druid that he's probably one of the best, considering he has 12 inventory slots, right? You know, he's got his bear on top of himself. Now, with this build, he builds up himself, but he could start building up the bear eventually. He still has some room to go in his own inventory, but that is something to keep in mind. Of course, it's Flea. Okay, he's fine. Of course, a ghost swap.
Yeah.
But
Theoretically, but by the time you get to that point, that's like some 120 minutes game kind of stuff, because that's like 70k net worth by the time you've got a few items on your bear and 6 slotted yourself. And I hope this game doesn't last till he has 70k net worth.
We're in for a long one, man. We're in for a long. No, yeah, you're probably right. Probably not going to be that, but worth thinking about at least. So, Crimson Guard going to be coming out for Slaughter. It seems like actually that's pretty good item choice here, and as I wouldn't expect anything less, of course, but useful for Team Onyx in terms of fighting.
Yeah, Crimson Guard got pretty heavily buffed. In the last patch, does work on buildings now, and just overall a very, very good item for fights. Works extremely well against physical damage, which is almost all Complexity's damage right now between the Weaver, the Juggernaut, and the Lone Druid. A lot of it being physical, some of it being Mjolnir, but most of it just right clicks. Smoke coming out.
Underlord, they're pinging him out there. One Z-Freak ain't going to catch him, though. Crush whiffs the Corrosive Haze put onto Underlord. There's the cog block right there onto Underlord. Going to be pushed out, though, every which way. The time-lapse onto him, I believe, brings it back. Meanwhile, Omni Slash bouncing around a couple heroes. Not doing the most damage. Dark Rift going to be canceled by Monkeys. Thought about using it right there. Doom going to be spun down. Here comes Lifestealer, though, out of the Slaughter that currently is dead now. That being the only death so far in the Hex. On a Juggernaut. Going to be swapped out by the Vengeful, though. The good timing on that. Saving it for the last second, and now Cancel getting another kill as he takes out Clockwork in the background, and now the run is on for Team Onyx. Mason's caught, though. Pops a Rage trying to deal with Cancel, but the kite is real, and he'll go down. Double kill for Cancel, and a 3-for-0 exchange throughout all of that. So another fight won by Complexity. Again, that momentum, as you're talking about when it comes to fighting power here, they are really coming online now.
Yeah, you can see in that fight they wanted to they didn't want to commit the Slaughter Lifestealer bomb onto this Underlord because he would just get Weaver time-lapse back. And so they just committed a few of the heroes, had the Slaughter and the Lifestealer just skirting around the sides trying to find the Weaver, but missed 2 crushes on Dubu, and Sprint ran out, just kind of got stranded in the middle of all those heroes and ended up dumping the Lifestealer off to his death. So both of them going down and not really getting any good initiations there. So Complexity playing that fight really well, Z-Freak being in a great position and not able to get caught.
Oh, the Hex, though, on a Lone Druid chasing him down. He just avoided the Sunstrike, though. If he gets hit by the Sunstrike, I think they're definitely chasing here even further. But, I mean, they still are. He's going to be talking about the Mana Leak, actually. And they may end up killing him in the end. He has support kind of nearby, but he's being boxed out. There's a time-lapse on him. It's not going to really matter. Maybe will. Okay, yeah, not in the end. Forced out. They did everything. Z-Freak trying every play of his, but it ain't going to be enough. And he, too, will end up getting caught as a result of that. Now he's dead for 60 seconds. With no buyback, so that's what you did not want if you're Complexity, to get caught doing some counter pushing, especially on a hero like the Lone Druid, and no buyback now on Weaver for 50.
Yeah, these teams are some serious line drawers. Complexity drawing a line for Monkey's bottom, telling him to go back to base, then Bulba saying go right on mid, so these teams tell you exactly what they're thinking with their fantastic artwork.
Boom, there it goes.
That Roshan here, yeah, definitely going to be up soon. Team Onyx, and I want to say it would be the third one, right? That means little cheese to come.
Yes.
I believe we've had 2 so far, yeah. Another benefit of doing it if they choose to do so. The Scythe, though, of Invoker has proven to be a pretty valuable pickup. Seen it used a couple times in his last fights, and especially to help catch the Lone Druid the last time. Moo might be in trouble middle lane. Ooh, Blink Dagger just before, and they still might chase. No. Maybe. Okay, hook shot, and there's the cock. So here we go. They are going to chase. Lotus Orb going to be applied, though. And Moo will be fine. Going to take the Tornado here. But not really much more after that.
Yeah, it's so hard to jump and blow up these heroes whenever his team's behind him. The time lapse, 3, 4 staffs, Lotus Orb, it's just almost impossible to bring this Juggernaut down, as well as him having the natural defensive capability of the spin, as well as building up that Manta. So extremely hard to bring him down. Onyx looking for any opportunity they have. Fleet pushing in bottom lane, trying to force someone back because they know Roshan's up and they really want to take this down. Whichever team gets this Aegis will have a massive advantage going into these next few fights.
Abyssal Blade on Juggernaut, big item there. Of course, Invoker just dives the tower. He gets the tower kill. He's going to be rooted by the Pit of Malice, but obviously not enough follow-up. Meanwhile, they're pinging out Roshan, though. Oh, no. Complexity's kind of split right here, so you got to be somewhat careful. Mel's making his way in. Oh, he gets Blind Light onto the cliff, however. Okay, there's a Force Staff. They'll be fine. So Dubu's going to jump in with Lifestealer, trying to make a play. Hookshot in the background. Actually catches a Lone Druid, but another Force Staff away. Will be fine. Moo just sitting on Roshan. Who's going to get the Aegis? That's going to happen any second now. There's the kill. Roshan, no Aegis pick up just yet, though. Demon gets knocked out with the Blind Light. Nobody's picking up. Finally snatched by Demon. On the counter right there. Dubu's in trouble. Everyone was spam clicking. He goes down. Gonna resurrect, though, but not the hero that you wanted it on. I mean, I guess they prevent Complexity from getting it, but finally, meanwhile, bottom lane, though, Invoker, he did push in the middle. Rax, Cancel comes in. He's going to take a Hex and trying to now chase out Flea. But Flea's once again somewhat done his job right here. You do see this Force Spirit's going to eventually be killed off, but that's another set of Rax down for Complexity. What is going on in this game, CCNC?
Yeah, Flea in the base now as well, so there's still creeps, backdoor protection not on, and may look for to continue to hit this Rax. You saw it cancel, walk out, and yeah, gonna start pressuring the melee Rax. May actually get it.
He's sitting on it. He's gonna get it. Oh, and Lone Druid, by the time he's back, he's like, wait a second, I thought you ran away. No, we did not.
Ghostwalk on cooldown.
He's dead. He has a buyback, though, but I think that might be worth it, right? You know, they got the melee Rax. Meanwhile, middle lane, okay, here we go. They're back to the Dire base. And Juggernaut's too deep. Moo's in trouble. He gets time lapse, though. Beautiful time lapse from Z-Freak. He will be fine. The Cog's going to block his own teammates, unfortunately, as the hookshot must have whipped or something, but another run back from Complexity, and they just need to get the hell on out of here. Dark Griffin not ready to go. 35-second cooldown. Not enough chase, though. This game just continues to be something, man. Invoker, no buyback now, however.
Yeah, Complexity really want to run down mid and just end the game because they know if they don't take this opportunity, then they may just get pushed to death, but don't really have a choice right now as the Invoker did buy back, so at the very least they forced that out as Fleet running down to bottom. And they may have some idea of where he is. If they can pick off this Invoker, then they will definitely be able to try and push down this mid lane, but as of now, Fleet is trying... Oh,
God, that was almost perfect with the timing, but ports out just in time.
Yeah, Flea just continuing to split out these lanes, and now that they only have this one range Rax, Complexity have to be extremely careful. You can see they really wanted to get that Roshan and use the Aegis to walk down mid and maybe go throne or get Megas of their own, take a fight in Onyx's base, but not quite able to, as Boo getting forced out of the pit, a really nice force. I'm not sure who did that. Then Dubu not having any slots, a lot of pinging happening, but eventually Demon storming in there and picking it up himself, so
yeah.
snatching it.
That was something. Not often an Aegis sits there for that long during a fight at the Roshan pit between two teams. But yeah, Demon of all players ends up picking it up. That was something. But Invoker, look at this, going to the mid lane. He's going to be seen, though. Will it be constant question?
Is Ghostwalk's a cooldown?
Deafening Blast. Ghostwalk 7 more seconds. You're right. Moo, can he get the Abyssal Blade?
Omni Slash is on cooldown, too.
And now Ghostwalk's going to be up. There we go.
Okay, he's fine.
Moo is going to... They don't have any kind of vision, though, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be very careful. He's just sort of toying with them right now, pushing his lanes in, irritating them a little bit, but he does go down. No buyback for quite some time, so needs to be a little bit careful, but knows his limits. Although he's playing with Ghostwalk on cooldown for a tad. If Moo did have that Omni Slash up, had gotten a bash during the Omni Slash, maybe he could have gotten a kill. But that was underlaying on the Invoker, and Onyx just chilling on their side of the map, waiting for a little bit for when they choose to go for that final push or trying to finish off this last range Rax.
We have some level 25s here, at least. Okay, well, actually, it's just Invoker. Wow, I thought there was going to be a couple, but it is just Invoker. Of course, he went the AoE Deafening Blast there. Juggernaut is coming up. So is Cancel on that Lone Druid. Is that significant? I mean, minus 10 second Savage Roar cooldown. Is that like, oh, that's actually really good? Or you're like, not really a big deal?
Nah, his level 25 talent is his worst one.
Okay, go figure.
Yeah.
Tapers off at the end, you're saying. All right.
The Juggernaut will get the agility, which is very nice. Gives him a really nice boost in damage.
Yeah.
More armor, also very good versus the Slaughter. Oh, Fleet breaking their smoke. I don't know if you realized, but they have 2 gems marching towards him. He needs to be very careful.
Oh no, can they catch him? They're trying so hard, they see him. They tried so hard. He got recalled, though.
Very close, breaking their smoke. So another smoke down the drain, and you can't see how many smokes they have. So I don't know, but I'm assuming it's a low number.
Things just continue to
None of the
happen.
warrior. None on any of their heroes. So
Oh,
yeah,
what's
picking
that?
up a Shadow Blade on Melon. So
Yeah, I saw that.
obviously showing they really want to try and find a pickoff. So they really just need to get a catch.
Again, guys, this is game number 1 of this 2-game series. They still have another one to play, and then we got one more series even after this later on. Infamous versus Team Freedom, actually. Should be a good one there, but this one turning out to be quite the doozy as well. Complexity versus Team Onyx. Of course, Onyx, the newly formed team here, the American region, and played yesterday, split their series as well. But Complexity making their debut post-Boston Major event and a 7.0 patch, so... I'm Breaking CBK, joined by CCNC Dota, or I guess it's your Twitter, but CCNC is your tag and name.
That's the me.
Alias. That's a you. Chrysalis on Lone Druid. Daedalus. Okay, he's switching it up, actually. He was eventually going for it, but now he wants to go full-on Bloodthorn here on Lone Druid. Change of heart. Is either one better, you feel, or does this make more sense?
I think the Bloodthorn is pretty good this game. If they do get the jump on the lifesteal, or he gets caught out a little bit, can silence him, and has no way to purge that off, so can stop him from getting the rage off, stop the Clockwork from poking away. It's another way to break the Invoker's Lincolns, which is very nice. So could give him a little bit more pickup potential if he has another hero with him. Could be very good there. One of the only sort of disadvantages about it is Lone Druid obviously has extremely long range, so not going to be super easy for him to get into range to use that Bloodthorn. He kind of wants to skirt around the edges of these fights, so a little bit counterintuitive, but if in a scenario where they are going for a pickoff and need something to break the Invoker's Lincolns, that will be quite good. Like we said before, also very good versus the Lifestealer.
Vengeful push
Onyx,
up. Yep.
just playing this split push game, they know that Complexity has some very strong team fight right now. The Weaver, the Aghanims are so hard to deal with. These fights are all about finesse, all about initiation, how the fights are taken. But Onyx, they really just want to play this sort of safe and get Mineski to maybe split push and take this Rax without any commit, without any risk of losing a fight. But Complexity not having any of that, and continue to get these lanes on them.
Oh man, Invoker jumped in, and Darkroot's going to be activated, actually, if you forget to him. Yeah, I definitely thought we might have finally some action right there, but nope. They get away. As they went to the top lane with the team, that's right. They did not go back to base.
So, looks like Complexity, they want to stick it to them. They think they're strong. They think they can take this team fight. So, marching towards the top racks, but Onyx making a very similar movement as they run down to the bottom lane trying to get this Rax.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, Complexity, they're pretty much all in, I feel like, because the range rack going to die really quickly as soon as Onyx picks up on this. Is going to do this. So yeah, here we go. Invoker's there. They're going to lose the range racks. Complexity's committed. They're going full throttle here for the finish.
That's Megas. So here we go. The wave of Megas is going to spawn in 15 seconds. It's going to be pretty hard for Complexity to deal with as they push in. D-Free getting his mana burned off. The Lotus are already used.
There we go. Follow up onto him. Going to be forced out to way. Weaver going to fall, though, without popping the time lapse. That's a big kill off the bat. Underlord being locked down. Meanwhile, over here, Cogs are up. Cancel kind of boxed out. He's not doing a lot of damage this fight. You have Underlord. He is getting low in the background. Also, Moo trying to do his thing, but Complexity completely spread out from one another. There's the swap, though, from Vengeful, and that could do it for Complexity in terms of help in the move forward. The AoE Deafening Blast coming out. You see the creep starting to push into the base of Complexity, by the way. Got to keep an eye on that. Buyback being used on a Weaver, it looks like. He's going to push out what he can, maybe join the team. Lifestealer being locked down by the Abyssal Blade. Pops a Rachel, running back to base. It seems like Moo is more than fine. Lotus Orb onto him. Cogs trapping Weaver once again. They're diving into the well even. They get the kill onto Slaughter. Buyback on a Lone Druid, actually, as he did end up falling throughout that. And going to join them once again as well. But now Underlord being locked down. And Moo now deciding it's best to go for the Tier 4 towers. And again, trying to play the game. We got to end this some way, somehow. Dodge the tornado. It ain't over just yet for sure. Meanwhile, time lapse on Moo, it looks like. Oh, that was a swap out. The Sunstrike going to miss it. All the buybacks going off. Juggernaut barely, that's cancel, on Lone Druid, barely surviving as he runs away. And Juggernaut is going to get caught in the background. Down goes Lone Druid. Juggernaut, yes, he goes down as well. He does not have a buyback, actually. And now Clockwork going at it with a couple himself. You see Underlord back into the fight. Clockwork going to remain alive, though. Vengeful goes down, and now Monkey's the one that's caught. He has Grinding Gears in 1 second. Ain't going to be enough to save his teammate. That should do it in favor of Team Onyx. The Mega creeps up. No buybacks to be had. And they're going to take game number 1. That was a long
Radiant's
fight, man.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, just very well played from Onyx, playing the game slow, not needing to take any risks. His Complexity eventually, like you said, was going to lose that range track. So
Dire victory.
they commit to this full-on push, realizing that's probably their best shot to win the game, but Onyx playing it very, very well, kiting them around, just constantly mana leaking this Weaver, and with no mana, Friend has to go down, then time